Cortisol and sleep are wired together much deeper than you think. Your brain has one massive problem. It can't tell the difference between a midnight work email and a predator in the woods. Think of cortisol as your internal security guard. During the day, he's doing his job, keeping you alert and focused. But at night, that music guard refuses to clock out. He stays on watch mode, keeping you in light, restless sleep because he thinks you're in danger. That's why you wake up exhausted, music, even after 8 hours in bed. Today, we're fixing the glitch. I'm giving you 5 music science-backed habits that force that security guard to finally stand down and tell your nervous system it's safe to sleep. Let's get into it. Habit number 1 is manipulating your environment's light, and it is the second most crucial factor for deep sleep we will discuss today. Your brain does not understand the concept of a clock on the wall. It only understands photons of light. Light is the master switch that controls your circadian rhythm. Think of your brain as a strict factory shift manager. As long as the lights are bright, the manager assumes the day shift is still working and keeps production running at maximum music capacity. In your body, that production means pumping out elevated cortisol and completely blocking melatonin, the hormone that actually initiates sleep. A landmark clinical study conducted by researchers at Harvard University demonstrated this mechanism perfectly. They compared the effects of 6 and 1/2 hours of blue light exposure to green light of comparable brightness. The results were staggering. The blue light suppressed melatonin for about twice as long as the green light and shifted the participants' circadian rhythms by an astonishing 3 hours. When you stare at your television or sit under bright, overhead LED ceiling lights at 9 at night, you are chemically forcing your brain into a state of daytime vigilance. You are confusing the factory shift manager. The fix requires a deliberate shift in your physical environment about 90 minutes before you intend to sleep. You need to dim your surroundings drastically, turn off all overhead lighting, switch to small, warm-toned lamps placed lower to the ground. This specific placement and color mimic the setting sun. When your eyes stop detecting bright overhead light, a factory shift manager finally clocks music out. Cortisol begins a natural rapid decline and melatonin floods your system. You stop fighting your biology and start working seamlessly with it. Habit number 2 is the single most important factor we will cover, and it directly solves the dreaded middle-of-the-night wake-up. This is about stabilizing your emergency backup generator. Many people experience a massive cortisol spike at 2 or 3 in the morning without realizing it, and it is entirely driven by blood sugar dropping too low. If you rely heavily on refined carbohydrates during the day, or if you have any level of insulin resistance, your blood sugar fluctuates wildly. At night, you are fasting for 7 or 8 hours. If your metabolism is not efficient at burning stored fat, your blood sugar will inevitably dip too low while you sleep. Your brain perceives this sudden drop in available energy as a life-threatening starvation event. It hits the panic button immediately to prevent you from entering a dangerous hypoglycemic state. Your adrenal glands release a massive surge of adrenaline and cortisol. These hormones forcefully pull stored sugar out of your liver and dump it into your bloodstream to keep you alive. The side effect of this survival mechanism is that you are jolted wide awake at 3 in the morning. Your heart is racing, your mind is buzzing, and you are completely unable to fall back asleep. Clinical research published by the Endocrine Society highlights that nocturnal hypoglycemia causes severe sleep fragmentation, even in healthy people who are not diabetic. The body will always sacrifice sleep to ensure survival. To fix this, you must change how your body handles energy. Transitioning to a lower carbohydrate diet, avoiding late-night sugary snacks, or incorporating intermittent fasting trains your body to comfortably burn stored body fat for fuel instead of relying on a constant supply of dietary sugar. When your metabolism becomes flexible, your blood sugar remains completely flat and stable all night long. Add the music. There is no emergency energy dip, no biological panic button, and absolutely music, no middle-of-the-night cortisol spike. Your brain feels entirely safe, and your sleep remains completely music unbroken. Habit number 3 involves closing your open mental tabs. Your brain is a prediction machine. It is obsessed with anticipating future problems so it can prepare solutions in advance to keep you safe. When you have unfinished tasks, unmade decisions, or looming anxieties, your brain deliberately keeps them active in your working memory. Imagine trying to cool down a computer processor music while leaving 40 demanding applications running in the background. The processor music stays hot. In psychology, this phenomenon is known as the Zeigarnik music effect. It states that humans remember uncompleted or interrupted tasks significantly better than completed ones. If a task is not finished and documented, your nervous system remains slightly on guard. It keeps cortisol elevated just enough to prevent deep rest because it is terrified you will forget something important. A fascinating clinical study from Baylor University tested this directly. Researchers had one group of people write down a list of completed music tasks before bed, while another group wrote out a highly specific to-do list for the next day. The group that wrote the to-do list, specifically offloading their future worries onto paper, fell asleep significantly faster. The more specific their list was, the faster they dropped off into deep sleep. Spend 3 to 5 minutes every single night externalizing your thoughts. Music. Write down tomorrow's critical tasks on a physical piece of paper. This simple act of journaling signals to your primitive brain that the information is securely stored in a physical location. The threat of forgetting is entirely removed. The open tabs are closed. The mental processor can finally cool down, and cortisol quietly recedes. Habit number 4 is the mechanical override for your nervous system. Cortisol is directly tied to your fight-or-flight response. You cannot simply logic your way out of a physiological stress response by telling yourself to calm down. You have to speak the language of the body. You do this by deliberately activating the vagus nerve. The vagus nerve is a massive communication superhighway running from your brainstem down through your heart, your lungs, and your digestive tract. When properly stimulated, it acts like a powerful emergency handbrake on your cortisol production, forcing your entire body into a state of deep recovery and safety. A prominent study published in Frontiers in Psychiatry demonstrated this beautifully. Researchers showed that slow-paced breathing, specifically with prolonged exhalations, directly shifts the autonomic nervous system toward parasympathetic dominance. This measurably lowered salivary cortisol levels in subjects within just a few short minutes. The technique is highly effective and simple to implement. Breathe in quietly through your nose for a slow count of 4. Then, purse your lips slightly and exhale very slowly and steadily for a count of 6 to 8 seconds. The extended exhale is the secret mechanism here. That long outward breath physically changes the pressure in your chest and mechanically slows your heart rate. Your brain monitors your heart rate constantly. When it detects that slowed, steady rhythm, it concludes that there are absolutely no physical threats nearby. The biological alarm is silenced. Music. Doing this for just 2 minutes while lying in bed physically prepares your tissue for deep, uninterrupted sleep. Habit number 5 focuses on flushing out residual stress through targeted nutrient support and gentle movement. High daily stress does not just spike your cortisol. It actively burns through the exact minerals your body desperately needs to calm back down. The 2 biggest casualties in this process, music, are potassium and vitamin B1. Potassium acts as music, a powerful physiological tranquilizer inside the body. It relaxes tight muscle fibers and calms erratic nerve impulses. Vitamin B1 is absolutely music, essential for nervous system recovery and energy production in the brain. When you run low on these two nutrients, your nervous system stays highly reactive, making it incredibly difficult to wind down at night, regardless of how tired you feel. Replenishing potassium through dark leafy greens or a high-quality evening electrolyte blend alongside vitamin B1 provides your body with the raw physical materials it requires to turn off the alertness switch. You must pair this nutritional support with a slow 30-minute evening walk. We are not talking about a heavy sweat-inducing workout. Intense evening exercise will actually spike your heart rate and trigger another wave of cortisol. A slow, casual walk in a different environment does the exact opposite. Research consistently indicates that low-intensity walking, especially outdoors, actively metabolizes and clears out circulating stress hormones. It sweeps away the leftover adrenaline from your busy workday. You are literally walking off the chemical tension. Between the calming minerals and the gentle movement, you give your body a final, definitive signal that the day's physical demands are completely over. Sleep is not a conscious action you perform. By managing your evening light exposure, stabilizing your blood sugar, offloading your mental loops, controlling your breath, and supporting your nervous system with proper nutrients, you remove music, the hidden biological threats that keep cortisol high. You stop fighting your body and start working music in rhythm with it. Try implementing just one of these habits tonight and notice the immediate difference in how you wake up tomorrow morning. If you found this information helpful and valuable, please, leave a comment below, letting me know which of these 5 habits you are going to try first tonight. Your feedback helps immensely, and please do not forget to like the video, to support the channel. Have a great night and sleep well.